Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the third workshop in this online workshop series. I'm Shubha, Product Specialist at Manage Engine IT Security Solutions. It's a pleasure to have you all here. I hope you can hear my voice and view my shared screen. Please let us know in case of any difficulties. As I had specified in our previous workshop, today I'll be discussing about protecting your confidential data through file integrity monitoring. In this workshop, I'll be discussing in detail about the prerequisites for monitoring the file and folder activities. I'll elaborate you the steps to define the access control list, enable the object access auditing, and also how to configure the SACL auditing. In the second part of this workshop, I'll be elaborating the steps to add a host in EventLog Analyzer for monitoring the file and folder changes. I'll also let you know these steps to get the user details for critical changes happening on the files and folders, and the steps to install the agent for file integrity monitoring. I would also like to let you know that next week we'll be discussing about how to perform the forensic analysis using the log search. In that workshop, I'll be discussing about backtracking security attacks, why it is important and how to do that, and how to build a complex search queries with the easily available search options with EventLog Analyzer, and how to extract forensic analysis report and creating an alert profile from the search queries for proactively mitigating the future security threats. Stay tuned with us to learn more about mitigating security attacks. Now let's move on to today's workshop. Before that, I would like to let you know that we have hosted EventLog Analyzer on our Azure Lab setup. You can access the product using the link that is displayed on screen. Please use the login credentials that is available in the slide. Get hands-on experience on the product and let us know if you have any difficulties in accessing the product on our Azure Lab setup. Let me now move on to today's workshop. As I said before, I'll be discussing about the prerequisites that are required or needed to configure the file integrity monitoring. The first one will be defining an access control list. Let me now tell you why defining an access control list is so important when it comes to monitoring your files and folders. The access control list allows you to establish the control over who can access what kind of data. That is, it establishes the permission between the user accounts or the groups or the computers and the data in which the confidential information is stored. I would also let you know that improper definition of access control list might leave a loophole in your security and give away to unauthorized access to critical data. So it becomes highly important for you to define the access control list in a very proper manner. Let me now illustrate the best practices for defining the access control list. The first point is that you should not give an access control list for a specific user account, be it a domain or a local user. An access control list should only be defined for groups and not for specific user accounts. In case if you need to exclusively access give access to certain user account or computer, first group them or add them to a specific group and then provide or define the access control list for that particular group. And I'll also like to stress that you need to use the predefined permission settings available in the access control list because configuring the advanced settings increases the complexity. All these best practices helps you to manage the access control list in an effective way. Now let me tell you on how to define an access control list for a specific folder. Say for instance, you need to configure the access control list for the home folder. Then right click on the folder, click on Properties, go to the Security tab. Here you can view the object name and its location. Say that the home folder is located on the C drive. The object name is home folder and its location is on the C drive that comes in first. And next is the list of groups or the usernames to which the permission to access this folder has been granted. You can edit the permission of these individual groups or the user accounts by clicking on the specific user account and then the edit option. You can configure either the allow or the deny option, and you can add another user account or a specific user or a group using the add option. And the permissions for the specific user account or the group will be visible at the section below. You can configure the advanced permission options using by clicking on the advanced button. As I had said before, it is advisable to use the default permission settings for defining the access control list, as the advanced option will give you complexities or increase your complexities. Once you are done adding the user account or a specific user group, then click on and define the permissions, click on OK. We are now defined the access control list for this particular home folder. I'll now give you a 5 minutes of time to go and check any of your folders and define the access control list for that particular folder. Once you are done with the task, please let us know by using the hand raise option. I would like to repeat the steps once again. Please go to the folder for which you need to define the access control list. Right click on the folder and select Properties. Navigate to the Security tab. There you will get the object name and the list of user groups or the user accounts for which the permission to access that particular folder has been granted. This is defining the access control list, and defining the access control list allows you to monitor the changes on the files and folders effectively. Please let us know if you have any queries regarding defining the access control list. Try your hands on defining the access control list in your lab environment and let us know once you are done using the hand raise option available on the WebEx. Looks like most of you has done with the task. Now let's move on to the second prerequisites, that is defining or how to configure the tracking or how to track the access to the files and folders. Tracking access to the files and folders involves two steps. The step one, which involves telling the server that it needs to keep track of the files and folder access. This can be done by enabling the object access auditing for the specific server. And the step two involves the administrator or owner of the data to directly indicate on that particular confidential data that it should be audited. This can be done by configuring the SACL, that is the Security Access Control List auditing. Now let me tell you on how to enable the object access auditing for particular server. To do that, go to the particular server, open the run option and type in gpedit.msc. This will now open the local group policy editor. In the local group policy editor, navigate to the Windows setting option on the left pane, expand the option, and then click on the security settings and navigate to the local policies and then to the audit policy. This will display the 9 events that can be edited on that particular server. For file monitoring, we need to enable the audit object access event. To do that, click on audit object access event and select properties and check the success and the failure checkboxes and then click on apply. Now the files and folder access, either success of the event or failure of the event, will now be audited for this particular server. To granularly set the auditing policies, you can always use the advanced audit policy configuration option. Say for instance, you're monitoring the files and folders only for complaints purposes. Then you need not monitor all the events that is associated with the object access. An object access events contains all these sub-events. You can configure the audit policies at the granular level by clicking on the Advanced Audit Policy Configuration on the left pane and then expand the System Audit Policies and then click on Object Access. This will display all the subcategories that are available under the Object Access auditing. Now, for complaints purpose, you can leave out audit using SIEM and audit kernel object and audit filtering platform connection and platform packet drop. And it is a must that you need to audit the audit file system event, audit file share, and audit handle manipulation event. To enable auditing for these specific subcategories, right click on that specific category and select properties and click on the Configure the following audit events checkbox and enable auditing for both success and failure events. Once you're done, click Apply and click OK. Repeat the steps for other events such as handle manipulation and also the file share. Now we have successfully enabled the auditing for the file share, file system, and handle manipulation subcategories under the object access event. Now you can monitor the files and folder changes exclusively for any compliance requirements. I would like to repeat the steps again. Open the gpedit.msc. This will now open the local group policy editor. In the left pane, click on the Computer Configuration, expand Windows Settings, and expand Security Settings, and then Local Policies, and then Audit Policy, and enable the Object Access Auditing by right-clicking on the Audit Object Access event and selecting the properties and enabling both the success and failure events. To granularly audit the subcategories of object access events, go to the Advanced Audit Policy configuration and then expand the System Audit Policy and then click on Object Access. And for complaints purpose, it is a must that you need to audit the file share, file system, and handle manipulation subcategories. Enable all these subcategories by right-clicking on the specific events and then selecting properties and enabling the success and the failure events. Now you can try your hands in your lab setup to enable the object access auditing or to check the object access auditing configuration at your environment. We are open for queries. Please let us know once you're done with the task. We have now seen how to define the access control list for the specific file or folder, and then how to enable object access auditing on a specific server. These two steps will help you to access or monitor the access to specific confidential file and folder in your environment. I would like to ensure or check or try out these tasks on your environment and let us know if you have any queries. As some of you want to repeat on what events that we need to audit under the object access, for compliance purpose, it is a must that you need to audit the file share, file system, and handle manipulation events. If you are auditing for specifically for file integrity monitoring, you can enable the auditing for all the subcategories under the object access. We will now move forward to the third prerequisites, that is enabling the SACL auditing for file integrity monitoring. To enable the SACL auditing, all you need to do is go to that specific folder, right click on the folder and select Properties option and go to the Security tab and click on the Advanced option. Navigate to the Auditing tab and then click on the Add button. And now you need to define the principle for which the auditing has to be performed. You can type everyone here and then click on Check Names. I would like to intimate you that here we are not providing the permissions for everyone to access the file. We are just auditing that whoever in the organization tries to access this file will get an auditing entry. Henceforth, we are mentioning everyone as the object name. Once you are done with this, click on OK. Now you need to assign or you need to specify on what type of access have to be audited. To do that, click on Show Advanced Permission link at the right pane and select the list folder or read data and read attributes, read extended attributes, create files or write data option, create files or append data, write attribute, write extended attribute, delete subfolders and files, delete, change permissions, and take ownership. We are leaving out the read permission and traverse folder or execute folder and full control option, as these access or these events would generate a lot of entries and these are basic events. And now click on OK. Now that we are defining everyone, I mean anyone in the organization who tries to access the folder or perform any of the following events that has been checked, the event will be audited immediately and you will get an alert based on that. Once you have defined the SACL auditing policy, click on Apply and OK. Now we have set the SACL auditing policy for the specific folder called the home folder. Defining the access control list, enabling the object access auditing, and configuring the SACL auditing will allow you to monitor and track the access events for the specific files and folders. Now please try adding or configuring the SACL auditing policies for the confidential folder at your environment and let us know if you have any difficulties. Say for instance, the folder in which you have configured the SACL auditing or the for which you have defined the access control list is the contains certain confidential data for your business. Now that anyone trying to access those data and trying to manipulate the files and folder or the data in that particular folder, you'll now get immediate entry on that auditing event. When it comes to business, 9 out of 10 enterprises will deal with the confidential data, be it the customer confidential or credit card information, or your own financial data or intellectual property rights of certain companies. All you need to monitor the access to these files and folders, and you need to get an alert or auditing entry when someone from your organization tries to modify these files or folders or delete certain data from these folders. Enabling the access control list and object access auditing and configuring the SACL is considered to be the best security practice to audit the access to these files and folders so that anyone from your organization, when they try to perform certain manipulation on these files and folders, an auditing entry will be automatically created and it will be easy for you to mitigate the data breach when these settings are in place. So please go and check in your environment on whether you have defined the ACLs properly and enabled the object access auditing and configured the SACL auditing for your confidential folder. If you have any queries regarding these prerequisites, please let us know. We are open for queries. And once you are done, we'll move forward on how EventLog Analyzer can give you the out-of-the-box reports and alert criteria for data protection. Now that we are done with the prerequisites for file integrity monitoring, let me now proceed to the next half of this workshop, that is adding a host for file integrity monitoring in EventLog Analyzer. EventLog Analyzer provides you various options to monitor your confidential files and folders. It gives you out-of-the-box reports and the alert profiles with which you can monitor the confidential data in real time. Let me now show you how to do that. To add a host for file integrity monitoring, click on the Add link under the File Monitoring Summary tab. This will take you to the film configuration page. The first option that is available in that page is the template option. Even with the templates, EventLog Analyzer allows you to specify the location of the file and include or exclude certain file types, and also enables you to get the user detail for the critical changes happening on the files and folders. And you can save all this configuration in one template and apply it across servers in your network. Let me now demonstrate you how to create a template. Click on the plus option. This will take you to the configure template page. Provide the name for the template, say home folder, with which you need to monitor the shared folders across certain servers in your network. And now specify the location of that particular file or folder. And the enable setting option will allow you to granularly define certain settings when it comes to template. It allows you to get the user details for the critical changes. To get the user details, check the username option, and you can as well include or exclude certain file types from that particular folder. Say for instance, you need to exclude all the text files that are present in the home folder. You can do so by selecting the exclude option and specify txt, that is the file type in the field, and then click on apply. The EventLog Analyzer also provides you an option to exclude certain subfolders in the particular folder. The exclude option that is available under the enable settings is for specific file type, and the exclude option that is available here on the configure template is to exclude the subfolders from the specific location, that is the home folder. Once you are done configuring the template, click on the save template. Now you can apply this template, that is the home folder template, across all the hosts or certain servers in your network. Now let me just add a host for monitoring. As you have already applied the template, you need not specify the file location folder here. And then click on Save Monitoring. This will install the agent for FIM automatically on that EX1. I would like to repeat the steps again. Navigate to the File Monitoring tab and click on Add button under the File Monitoring Summary. Specify the template if you want to do so, and give the user or add the host for which in which you need to monitor the files and folders, and then click on Save Monitoring. You can see the status of the agent that is being installed in that ADMP by clicking on Agent Administration option on the left pane. As you can see, the agent has been successfully installed in the ADMP EXE1, that the host that has been added, and the service is up and running. Now try adding any of the host in your lab environment and try pushing the FIM agent in that particular host with the steps as I have demonstrated right now, and let us know if you have any queries. Once you are done with the task, please let us know by using the hand raise option. You can monitor the files and folders for a host that is being already added to EventLog Analyzer. And EventLog Analyzer also allows you to install the agent when you add the host for the first time. For that, go to the Add Host page check on the agent option. This will install the agent in that particular host while adding the host for EventLog Analyzer for monitoring. Once the agent has been installed, later you can specify which location has to be or the folder resides so as to monitor the files and folders on that particular folder. To configure the file integrity monitoring for the existing hosts, as I said, before, navigate to the File Monitoring tab, click on the Add link in the File Monitoring summary, specify the template, and then specify the host for which you need to monitor the confidential files and folders. If you have not specified the template, provide the location of the files and folders. You can monitor the multiple files and locations by separating each of the file location using the comma, and you can granularly set or configure the film by clicking on the enable settings option, wherein you can enable the user details, and also you can include or exclude certain file types from monitoring, and then exclude the location of certain subfolders that are available with the main confidential folder. And once you have specified all these details, click on save monitoring. The agent will be automatically installed in that particular host. To check the agent installation process, click on Agent Administration option from the left pane. In the Agent Administration tab, at any time, you can edit the agent, restart or stop the agent. Please try adding a host for file integrity monitoring on your lab setup and let us know if you have any queries. Once you are done with the task, please let us know using the hand raise option. Once you are done adding the film host, we'll discuss on how EventLog Analyzer provides a comprehensive report for monitoring your confidential files and folders, and how to create an alert profile that gives you the real-time notifications when someone tries to access those confidential files and folders. Now let me just show you on how EventLog Analyzer provides you a comprehensive report for file integrity monitoring. To check the report, navigate to the File Monitoring tab and click on the host for which you need to view the file access data. As you can see, EventLog Analyzer provides you the comprehensive report for that specific server. That is how many created events have happened, and how many modified events had happened, and how many deleted and renamed and permission changed events had happened. You can also build a search queries from this report by clicking on the search option available near the fields. Say for instance you need to get the report for the user named Karthik and who tried to change or delete something on that particular folder. You can very well do so by selecting the username and specifying it as, and click on the plus option to use the Boolean operators, and then select the change type, say for instance permission changed, and hit the search button. This will give you the report for the specific user who tried to change some permissions on that particular file. For auditing purposes, you can directly extract or export this file or this report into the PDF and CSV option and present it to your auditor. To export the report, click on the PDF or CSV option at the top of the available at the top of the product. EventLog Analyzer also provides you an option to create alert which sends out real-time notifications, that is the email or SMS notification, whenever a specific user tries to perform certain actions on the confidential files and folders. Let me just demonstrate you how to get those alerts. Navigate to the File Monitoring tab and click on the Add Alert button. This will take you to the Create an Alert Profile page. Specify the name for the alert profile, say File Deletion, and select the host for which the alert has to come up. As you can see, the criteria has been already defined. You can granularly set the criteria. Say for example, whenever a specific user tries to delete certain files, an alert will be triggered. To do so, define the username and then use the plus option and the Boolean operator and select the change type and specify it as deleted. An EventLog Analyzer also allows you to pick the username. To do so, click on the pick option and specify the users. Once you have granularly defined the criteria, select the notification option, that is either you want to send out an email or SMS. EventLog Analyzer also provides you an option to run a script whenever this criteria matches. You can use the run program option to specify the location of the script and the arguments. This will help you to proactively mitigate any security threats. After specifying the notification type, click on Add Alert Profile button. Now EventLog Analyzer will send out a real-time email notification to the specified user whenever an admin, say the user Karthik, tries to delete a certain file in that specific file server. Now we have seen how to add a host for file integrity monitoring, and how to push the agent on that specific host, and how to extract the report specific to your internal security policy needs, and how to set up an alert profile that gives you real-time notifications for certain file manipulation that is happening on the server. Now try adding a host and extracting the report and creating an alert profile at your lab environment, and let us know once you are done. Please let us know if you have any queries as well. I would like to give you a quick recap on what we have done in this workshop. First, to monitor the files and folders, you need to have or define certain prerequisites. That is, you need to define the access control list, which will establish the connection between the users and the permissions and the data, and the steps to enable the object access auditing. We have also seen the steps to configure the SACL auditing. All these three steps are the prerequisites to enable the auditing for a specific file or folder access. And next, we have seen how to add a host for file integrity monitoring in EventLog Analyzer, and how we can get the user details for critical file and folder changes that has been happened, and how to install the agent in specific host for file integrity monitoring. With this workshop, say for instance, you have a confidential folder which contains the financial information. You have now defined the access control list, that is, who can access those folder. And next, you have enabled the object access auditing, that is, audit the events whenever someone tries to access those folders. The corresponding audit events are enabled, and we have also configured the SACL auditing, that is the secured access control list auditing, which specifies on that particular data to audit the whenever someone tries to manipulate those folder data. Next, you have added the host in which the files and folders are available to monitor using EventLog Analyzer. You have specified the location of the folder, and then you have enabled the username option to get the user details for that critical file and folder changes, and you have manually installed the agent in that specific server. With all these in that place, whenever someone tries to access that particular confidential data in the server, EventLog Analyzer will send out a real-time email or SMS notification to you saying that the specific user had tried to access the data or delete the confidential data, so that you can react to the situation immediately. You can always use the run program option to proactively mitigate security threats. Say, for instance, you can write a script on how to you can write a script to disable the user account whenever the user tries to access that confidential data. Please let us know if you have any queries regarding file integrity monitoring. As I had said before, in the next workshop, we'll be seeing on how to perform forensic analysis using the log search. We'll be discussing on why it is important to backtrack the security attacks and how to efficiently backtrack the security attacks to minimize the disastrous or catastrophe of security attack or threat, and the various search options that are available with EventLog Analyzer, and the steps to build powerful search queries to conduct forensic analysis. I'll also be demonstrating the steps to extract forensic reports and create an alert profile from the search queries to proactively mitigate the future security threats. Stay tuned with us on next Tuesday to know more about forensic analysis and mitigating security attacks. We have now reached the end of this workshop. Please let us know if you have any queries regarding this workshop. We'll be open for queries another 5 to 10 minutes, and please do not worry if your questions are unanswered. I'll assure you that we'll take it offline. Thank you very much for participating in this workshop, and thanks again for your time and patience. If you have any further queries, please write to us at support@eventloganalyzer.com. We'll respond to them immediately. As I had said before, stay tuned with us on next Tuesday to learn more about forensic analysis and log search. Thank you again.